Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sandra. This morning I have been messing around in the kitchen trying to get some things organized, and I've got a little project in mind that I want to do. Get in here where I get some better light. I bought this. It's one of those multi-outlet things. I got one of those off of Amazon, and let me show you what my intentions are for using that. So over here I have this counter, and I used to have it sitting out here in the middle that run down this way, but we've been redoing a little bit of the kitchen, trying to do it on a very small budget, and as you can see here, I made my own island. I made a shorter one, and it actually works better with the flow of the kitchen. I need to buy some type of backing to put on this cabinet and paint it. We put some paint on it, but it didn't stick very good. Just trying to let it make do. But I'm actually going to try to find a backing that will go from the top of this little board here all the way down to the bottom board there, and make it look more uniform. And this counter is just loose. I need to bring it back a little bit. And yeah, so basically that's my counter. It still needs some work, but it's a work in progress. But back to this counter over here, I moved it against the wall here, and I bought that multi-outlet to put up here because I only have one outlet over here on this side of the cabinet. But I've got all these kitchen appliances, and my idea is to use that multi-outlet over there and set those appliances over there so that I'll have easy access to electric if I choose to use those over there. Still working on decorating my wall. It's not the best, but I worked with what I already had on hand. If I ever find me a real pretty country-like picture or something, I'd like to put it on this wall here. This is just some of the things I had thrown around in storage. Or in a back room, actually. That's my storage, a spare room. It's not a good habit to get started. But I have an ice maker, and I'd like to have it sitting over here close to my sink so that it's easier to fill up and empty. But I'd like to get all these appliances here and put them over on that countertop over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some paper towels and cleaner, and I'm going to clean that off real well, and I'm going to get this outlet plugged up over there. I'll show you real quick what it looks like. I got this a few days ago, and it's just been sitting on the table. Instead of just getting on the ball and getting the job done, I put it off, but I'm going to get it done today. Okay, here's the multi-outlet box, and this has got a corded, or like a roped, like fabric cord. It's like a fabric coating over the cord. I like it because the outlet part here is very flat, but also the cord's flat. So I thought that would sit behind my countertop better. I think I ordered this in a 10-foot length. That way I knew from the outlet over to the center of the counter I'd have plenty of length to work with on the cord. But I'm going to get that cleaned off real quick, get my outlet plugged up, and get some of my appliances over and see how it looks from there. And if I need to tweak it or something, I'll do it from there. Okay, here is how I have it set up so far. I didn't plug anything up. We'll just plug it up as we need to. And yeah, I think that's going to be a lot more handy. And then that freed up my space over there for my ice maker. I've got a place under my counter here that I'm going to put my food processor. So that'll clear that up out of the way. So that's going to help out a lot with getting all these little gadgets organized. I thought while I was at it, I'd go ahead and show you some of the other things that we've done in our kitchen. We got some new lighting. We recently got these directional lights, which help with this part of the kitchen that I'm in, but it's still dark over there on the far wall. There's not much I can do, but at least I can see over here in the main part of the kitchen. It's just one of the problems of living in a mobile home is some of the sacrifices you have to make things work. This used to be, before we added on, this was the living room. And then over here was the kitchen. And now our living room is off to this side. And we made this one big kitchen. But we went to Lowe's and we got these are like all wall hanging cabinets. They're basically all your top cabinets. None of these are base cabinets. Now this cabinet right here, these set of cabinets are about 12.5-inch diameter. They were just the cheap pine, I guess is what they were. They're very cheap made. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do with what you got to do with, you know. And so we went and got these. We just have them stacked up on top of each other. This is a cabinet. This is a set of cabinets. And then this is as well. And I went for the cheapest little gold knobs I could find at Lowe's. So that's what we put on there. And the top, we just keep, I have a large casserole dish up there. And some miscellaneous cups there. And then on the middle cabinet, this one came with 2 shelves inside, so it gives you 3 different spaces to store stuff. So it's like a little pantry cabinet. And then the bottom section here is the same cabinet as this up here. And it's got some of my canned stuff in it. These cabinets here are just the cheap pine too. We bought some little knob pulls for the drawers. Let me show you my counter here. The knob pull's a little dirty. I have to clean that up here in a minute, but it's one big long drawer and it needs organized, so don't judge me, guys. But I've got spatulas, just measuring cups, spoons, different things like that. And then down here in the bottom, I've got my skillets, and then cutting boards, miscellaneous lids. I got rid of a lot of lids. I had so many, more than I even had pots. I thought there's no need in keeping all those. So I narrowed it down to what you see there. There's my little food processor. This little skillet holder is actually, the little wire rack is actually in, I think, office supplies. I had found that at Goodwill, and I thought, well, originally I got it to put my cutting board stuff in, but it works great for those skillets. I give like $1 and something for that. I do have the actual little holders that holds the skillets, but this works better for my skillets than what they do. So I've got 2 of those put up in my spare room. One of these days I'll get in there. If I haven't used them by then, I'll rehome them. This cabinet here came out of an old apartment that's no longer existing. My husband salvaged that sink base out of it, and of course we painted it and, you know, put the knobs and the handles on there. And then just recently we went and bought another set of these wall cabinets. I still need to get the little knobs for it. These were made a lot, like for instance, the doors look better and are better quality, but the base, like the side of it, is made out of a real brittle, I would guess you'd call it like a particle board. It wouldn't take much to chip it. But you know, we've got them sit there and don't plan on moving them, so they should be all right. If we go to moving them around a lot, then they're probably gonna start getting chipped and all that. I see a cobweb right there. Let me get that real quick. I'm sorry, once I saw that, I was like, if I don't get it now, forget about it, and it won't get done. So I got it down, or I got it done. But let me open these cabinets and I'll show you another way that they differed from the original ones. I got these at Lowe's. The first cabinet I showed you, we got that, oh gosh, I don't know, maybe 3 years ago. And in that time, they switched over to this brand, and they're made a little different. And of course, the prices went up over the years, so I wasn't too happy about that. But let me show the insides of them. So up here, I just have our different medications. This is like the family lot of medications. And sadly, this is like my little corner of the cabinet for my medications. But that keeps them up away from the kids, and it doesn't clutter my top of my fridge, which that's where they stayed at home for a long time, and I didn't like it. I like things to be cleared off. And then here's this cabinet. It works as like a little pantry as well. This only had the one shelf, where the other one had 2 shelves. And I'm going to have to change my weight a little bit because I can already see this shelf starting to bow a little bit. So probably need to take this can stuff off and put it down here on the lower shelf to take that weight off of that shelf, because it's just too much stress on that and I don't want to permanently damage it. And then down here the bottom, of course, is made the same. And these are just stacked one upon the other. I went and I had some of these things that go on the bottom of your chairs. I had a bunch of those in a bag, so these slammed really hard and made a big clacking sound I didn't like. So I went and got those out of my little storage and put those on each corner of these doors. And so when you close them now, it's a softer close. It's not that big wood against wood sound. But I've got the little cabinet knobs to go on these. We just haven't gotten around to putting them on yet. Here is a shelf my husband saved from going to the landfill. That's solid wood. And then here's my wall where I decorated a little bit. That pantry sign right there come from the Dollar General. This come from Dollar General. I think I need to paint that frame a little bit to make that picture pop a little more. So I might get around to that one of these days. Now these 2 pictures here, years ago I went and designed these in Photoshop and created the images and printed them out. And then I just Mod Podged them on some scrap boards I had. I painted them black. And then I just glued some of this rope on there. I've had those for years, but I still like them, so I keep them up there. Here is my son's banjo, which needs to get put up before the grandbabies find it. And then I've got some spare storage over there. Here is a tray on wheels, or a little cart, I guess. My husband also saved this from going to the landfill, and I said, I'll use it. And I've used it for years. I love it. I went and put some contact paper on it after I'd painted it. There's some little shelf liner like you put in your drawers, and that just cleaned up so nice. And then I found this little decoration, which it kind of blends in with the wall, but it'll do. I didn't have nothing better to hang up there. I got that at the Goodwill, maybe a couple bucks. And then I made this little sign years ago. And then I can't remember, my husband I think brought this picture home to me. It's a real old picture and I love it. I just represents the old times, but you know, it shows them these man and woman being thankful for God's blessings, and that's what inspired me to fix this little sign on the wall to go along with it. And I think it just looks so good on that wall. I've never moved it from that spot. Here is my Instapot. This is one of those that's the wide one. I can't remember how many quart. 4 or 6, I can't remember. Might be even bigger than that. But I don't use that very much anymore because I just don't cook the big meals like I used to. And then here's my smaller Instapot. This is a 3 quart and I use it all the time. And then I've got some Mother's Day gifts in this bag. I'll show you that here in a minute, because this video won't be seen by my mother or my mother-in-law until after Mother's Day. But this little thing my sister gave me years ago for a gift. I think it's for my birthday one year. And then this shelf here my husband built for me, and I got all these little different doodads over time. I made these letters here that spell eat, and let me get one down. I traced out letters onto just flat cardboard, and then I had some of the wallpaper that's textured, and I glued that down, and then I just kind of paint and dabbed the paint with a sponge over this texture and kind of give it that black and white look. It kind of looks like an iron look. Remember the old iron tables and stuff that sit outside? I thought it'd give it that kind of look. So I made those. Got that back up there. That come from the Dollar General, I think. And so there's that. And I'd like to maybe get me one of those extension cords or multi-outlet things that I just plugged up over here. And of course I wouldn't need one with as long as a cord, and maybe have one over here, so if I want to use my crock pot here, sorry about that racket, if I want to use my crock pot or anything else over here, or like have dinner and have multiple crock pots, maybe I'll have a place to plug them up there as well. So I didn't know that was going to turn into a kitchen tour, but I guess it did. Could show you my little cabinet over here real quick. Now my husband built this little frame you see here, and I had him to stain it, and one day we had to take that out to paint these cabinets, and he put it in backwards. So where this was supposed to be facing the back where you wouldn't see it, it's actually on the front, and he offered to take it back loose because it's just held in there by pressure. I'm afraid he'll scratch the paint, and I don't want to have to go buy more paint. We already scratched the wall up on the wallpaper, so I think I just soon, it bugs me, but I think I just rather leave it alone. But I used to use this for spices, and it had extra little shelves in it, but you know, I changed my mind a lot on different things, so I had him take 2 of the little shelves out so I could put taller stuff. And so I went through and decluttered all my coffee cups and narrowed it down to these. These are my Pioneer Woman, and this is a Pioneer Woman rolling pin. I got this little hanger off of Amazon, and it's just screwed through the bottom board there, and that gets that up off the counter so my grandbaby, my littlest one, She always likes to run in here and get him Mama's stuff. And that's heavy enough it could hurt her. So now it's put up and I don't have to worry about it. And then these two little owls. My sister gave that to me one year. And I've held on to them. They mean a lot to me. Sentimental. And then here's my Pioneer Woman plates. My knife set. The bowls. I love it all. I love that design. Now, I will say this. These knives of the Pioneer Woman are sharp. And they're pretty. But you can't put them in the dishwasher. And the thing that bugs me about these is they're hard to clean. I mean, they want to stain real easy. And even after I wash them, they still look foggy, like a foggy residue. So, I'm going to use them for a while. But if I ever find a really good deal on knife set that fits this many slots and all that, one of these days I may switch those out and keep the block. But yeah, and then here's a little shelf I had my husband build. It's just got plates and bowls, extra storage, stuff like that. And this actually I think was supposed to be like a medicine cabinet in the bathroom. But I love kind of the sculpted look to it. So, call me crazy, but I put it in here in my kitchen. And it works out good for like my salt and pepper. I've got my frequently used spices here. And then I've got my spray bottles that have my oil. And then my big containers of salt and pepper. But yeah, I need something prettier to go up here. That has a little color, like for instance, this is alright, it's blue. But this glass stuff, it's pretty, but it don't show up very good. So yeah, I didn't know this video was going to turn into a little kitchen tour, but it did. I just wanted to give y'all a little look around. Nothing fancy, but I'm thankful for it. It's a roof over my head. A lot of people don't have that. But I'm going to hop off here and get back to work. And I don't know what else I'll add to this video. I never know day to day what I'm going to add in here. So if y'all have any suggestions or thoughts of things you'd like to see, you know, I quite possibly could do that. Because I really have a fairly boring life. I'm real excited. I'm supposed to get out with my mom tomorrow. We're going to an Amish market. We've never been to it. Her neighbor and friend invited my mom, but also invited me to go along. So I'm real excited. I typically don't get out with friends or do stuff. Mom is my friend. Me and her get out together. Other than that, that's pretty well the extent of my social life. Other than back and forth with you all in the comments and stuff like that. And a few friends I have online. But yeah, I don't have a big social life. I'm a homebody. Pretty well just stay home most of the time. Unless me and Mom do get out. And then we go to church on Sunday. So, but it's my life and I love it. So I'll see y'all back here whenever I find something else to record. Alright guys, I think I will go ahead and close out this video. I was transferring all my video over to my iPad. And I was beginning to edit the footage I did have already. And I think I'm right at 20 some minutes already. So I thought, I probably need to wrap this video up so it won't be so long. And I remember I had told you all I would show you what I had got my mom and my husband's mom for Mother's Day. I had them in a bag wrapped up over there on the counter. So I thought I'd close out the video by showing you what I picked up them for a gift. And Mother's Day is the 10th, so that's just, is it Sunday? I don't know. I'm probably going to give my mom's hers tomorrow. We got family coming in, so I'm going to go ahead and give hers to her tomorrow. Because I know the weekend will be busy for us. I think these are beautiful. And I think they'll like it. I know I'd like one for a gift myself. It's a little bird. Looks like it's sitting on a little flower nest. But it's got a little hole where you can make a where an actual bird can go in and build a nest. So it's a little birdhouse. It's got this little cord, you can hang it up. Let me show you the back side. But isn't that adorable? So that's what they're getting for their Mother's Day, and I hope that they enjoy them. But I'm going to go ahead and close this video. I thank you all if you've watched this long. Thanks for hanging in there with me. And until the next video, guys, bye.